effect. Yes, we are. In effect, Chilltown Hoops is in the house tonight. I am in effect tonight. You know it. When you see me, you know how I get down. Yes, you do. You know how I get down. Mm-hmm. Giving the people what they want. Giving the people what they want. Mm-hmm. Giving the people what they want. Giving the people what they looking for. Let's do it. Mm-hmm. What I do know for a fact, is something good, something's gonna happen tonight. Not sure what that is, but something is. Yep. Something is. We about to find out what that something is, though. I do know that. So we are about to find out. I want to know what it is. How can I mean, we got to find out what can Minnesota do to stay in this series. What can they do? What can Minnesota do to keep what they're doing alive? Right? What can they do? Max, yo, go get your own page, man. I'm sick of you coming onto my page with this goofy shit, yo. I'm working over here. I am tired of you, yo. With your non-objective bullshit claims. Of course, Josh Hart is going to say that about Derek White. Him and Derek White do the same thing. You would say that about somebody who does the same thing as you. Get out of my damn chat, man. Already, go. Get out of here. Beat it. Damn. Of course he's going to say that about him. Now, as I was saying, what can Minnesota do? Right? What can Minnesota do to extend this series? What can Minnesota do to ensure that they don't get bounced? Right? What do they have to do? Right? What does Minnesota have to do to make sure that they don't go home tonight? I actually like the matchup between Luka and Ant. And I like that. I like that switch off the strength that Ant is much better on the ball than he is off the ball. Much better. He's not very good off the basketball. That's proven. He is not a very good off-ball defender. No, he is not. He could be. I think that he will get better. But if you look at the history of twos, who, if you look at the history of twos, right? If you look at the history of twos, Jordan, great defender, not very good off the ball. Bryant, great defender, not very good off the ball. You could catch him chilling. You can catch him doing that. So with that being said, Anthony Edwards moves into that, right? Anthony Edwards moves into that. He moves into that space of, hold on for a second. What are you doing, man? Excuse me for a second, guys. I got a situation real quick. I gotta go handle this. What's the problem? Oh, okay. Anyway, I'm sorry. Where were we? Where were we? So we know that I know that Anthony Edwards is not that good of an off-ball defender. And history has shown me that great perimeter defenders have weaknesses. Jordan had a weakness. He wasn't a very good off-ball defender. Bryant wasn't very good off the basketball. Sidney Moncrief. Joe Dumars was a really good off-ball defender. He wasn't as good as he was at other things. So there you have that. Now, this series looks to me very much like what happened with the Denver Nuggets. When Cat plays well, we win. It's really it's that elementary. I can talk to you about schemes, about Jaden McDaniels now covering Kyrie Irving, Anthony Edwards now covering Luka and being on the ball. I could do all of that stuff, right? I could talk to you about that. Beating Luka to spots, making Luka work more on offense when he has the ball. I could talk to you about all of that stuff. However, one glaring fact that I've seen, when Cat plays well, they win. When Cat is on the floor, and he plays well, they win. They have a good enough team defensively that they can protect him, which is what I told you a while ago about these teams trying to hunt guys and teams being able to hide them. You're not hiding anybody. You can't. You can't hide anybody because we all know you. We have plenty of people in our scouting department. Not only do we have people in our scouting department, we have plenty of film on you. We know what you do. We talk to other people around the league. We talk everything that's necessary to find out about you. We already know it. So we know that Damian Lillard is not a very good defender, particularly one-on-one. We know that for a fact. So what are we gonna do? We're gonna hunt him, and we're gonna get him in switches one-on-one. We're gonna get him in switches one-on-one. And why do we know that? Because we've done our homework on Damian Lillard. So now, the Portland Trailblazers, when he was there, they didn't have the personnel to protect him. The Milwaukee Bucks don't have the personnel to protect him, which would explain why, when you got deep into the playoffs, you were getting fried. And he was one of their biggest liabilities, one of their biggest ones. Now, with that being said, right? With that being said, we have Cat. Cat's on a team with a great rim protector, a great interior defenseman, a great interior defensive player, a great rim protector, a great rebounder in Rudy Gobert. He's also on a team with a great perimeter defender in Mike Conley, a great perimeter defender in Anthony Edwards. He's got some issues, but he's awesome. Jaden McDaniels, another great rim protector, another great perimeter defender. So now we have people to protect him. We have people to clean up whatever messes he makes. Because if you watch Cat defensively, he kind of looks like he's all over the place, right? He looks like he's everywhere. So you got guys like Naz Reid, who when him and Cat are on the floor, he's able to protect him. He's able to clean up some of Cat's messes, which is dope, right? I think that's awesome because now we have a better chance as opposed to when we don't have that, right? When we don't have that, now we can't protect you. But Cat has proven, not just in this series, he has proven throughout the playoffs, when he plays well, they win. When he knocks down the long ball, they win. When he gets to the basket, they win. When he gets on the glass, they win. When he puts all of that stuff together, they win. Now, I'm very well aware, I'm not on the fence about this, I'm very well aware of how the Minnesota Timberwolves team is predicated on. They're predicated on defense. That's their bread and butter. That is their bread and butter. And because of that, right? Because of that being their bread and butter, that can't falter. Their offense has always been in question. It was in question all year this year. Not because of the action that they get, but because of the conversion. All year long, that's been going on. All year long. They get great action. The problem is converting on that action. Now, if you're not converting on that action, plus your defense is going the other way, we really don't have a shot. We really don't have a shot. So guys like Cat, Alexander Walker, I know this sounds crazy, but Naz Reid, Alexander Walker, those guys have to be productive. They have to be. And the reason why they have to be productive is because if they're not, they're such an integral part of what Minnesota is doing. Defensively, I don't expect Naz Reid to knock down 8 long balls. I don't. I do like the fact that Jaden McDaniels can throw Kyrie Irving off rhythm, though. I am very appreciative of that. Yes. Yes. Because Alexander Walker can't cover him. That's been proven over 3 of the last 4 games. He can't cover him. Nope. The same way we saw Shepard get Shepard off of Jalen Brunson, the same way we saw that get Alexander Walker off Kyrie Irving. No, that's not going to work. Nope. He cannot deal with him. And the reason why he can't deal with him, one, the pickup point is way too late. Way too late. And with the pickup point being as late as it is, and Kyrie Irving got a full head of steam, you ain't going to stop him, especially in transition. Hell no. So which now begs the question, and I was thinking this, because I feel like when I look at Dallas, I never thought that a rookie would be that impactful for what they're trying to do. Derek Lively, him being out the lineup was a huge deal. Because now when you blitz Luka, Lively is better in that short roll, way better in that short roll. What up, Lee? He's way better in that short roll than Daniel Gafford. Way better in that short roll. Because he's a better playmaker. He's a better passer. And he's better in the dunker spot. As good as Gafford is in the dunker spot, as good as Gafford is around the rim, I'm just so surprised at how Lively has fit. I'm so surprised at how Lively has actually fit with this unit. It's incredible. Because I honestly, you couldn't tell me that he wasn't going to be a project. You couldn't. You could not tell me that he was not going to be a project. You couldn't tell me that. Because I was convinced. I wasn't overly impressed with him at Duke. I thought that he was a solid big man, but he looks like something. He looks not otherworldly, but he looks a lot better than what I thought he was going to look like. And now the fact that Luka has a pick and dive guy, not only a pick and dive guy, Luka also has a guy in the dunker spot who finishes around the rim like he's a 5-6 year vet. He's got somebody like that. That makes him look so much better. That makes Luka look so much better. Now, I am an advocate. Some people disagree with it, but I think you got to get the ball out of Luka's hands. I'm not on the fence about that. I'm not saying maybe. I'm not saying possibly. Somebody else got to do it besides Luka. We got to get the ball out of his hands. Nope. Somebody else, right? Somebody else has to do it. And I'm comfortable, very much like Oklahoma City, very much like Oklahoma City. I'm comfortable with P.J. Washington knocking down the long ball every night. I'm comfortable with that. I'll tip my hat to you, brother. I'm comfortable with Green knocking down the long ball or having to make shots. I'm comfortable with that. I am comfortable with that. Get the ball out of Luka's hands and make Irv. If Irv is going to do it, we're going to have to eat something. Sure. There's something that we're just going to have to eat. That's just part of it. And if I get the ball out of Luka's hands and we're blitzing him and making P.J. Washington make shots, we're making Kyrie Irving make more shots, we're making Green make more shots, we're making Derek Jones Jr. make more shots, I'm comfortable with that. I am comfortable with that. Anybody but Luka. Anybody but him. And the reason why I say that is because when I get the ball out of his hands, I know that if those guys are going to make shots, the game's not going to be 116, 122. The game's going to be where we want it. 95, 100, 105. I'm comfortable with that because I like our chances down there. I like our chances at the end. Just so you guys know, that shot that Luka hit on Rudy Gobert in game 2, that was the only bucket he had in the fourth quarter. He only took 2 shots. The game was close. We had a ball game. That blitz was working. It was Minnesota's offense that couldn't convert. What Minnesota's offense, particularly Anthony Edwards, did do was convert in game 4. That did happen. Cat knockdown shots. Anthony Edwards coming off that pick and roll and knocking down that shot. That worked. Rudy actually around the basket finishing. That worked. So if I could get the ball out of Luka's hands and make those dudes continuously make shots all night, not just in the first quarter. I don't know if I mentioned this to you guys before, but I equated it to the game plan in football, where the plan is to run the football. If we get stopped 2 or 3 series, don't come off the run. Keep running. You're going to bust this thing open. Stick with it. Well, it's the same logic with Blitz and Luka. Make them dudes keep making shots. Make those dudes keep. You made that shot in the first quarter. You even made that shot in the third quarter. Keep making it. Keep making it. And if you do, and if we keep the game close, even though our offense has been an issue, right? Even though our offense has been an issue, if we could keep the game close, I like our chances. Because the other coverages that you've thrown at Dallas, they have not worked. They have not worked. That drop coverage, no. That's not going to work. That drop coverage where Luka's coming off that pick at the 3-point line and Rudy is in the lane, and now Luka has Jaden McDaniels, whether he's in jail or he's got him on his hip. Now we got a 2-on-1 situation. And I'm Rudy, and I gotta decide whether I'm gonna guard the rim or I'm gonna guard Luka. If I guard Luka, Daniel Gafford's putting his face in the rim. If I guard the rim, Luka's getting a straight line floater to the rim or playing in the mid-range. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do everything that I can to make those other guys make plays. Make plays all night. And not just once Derrick Jones Jr. hits 1 3, he hits 2 3s. Once he does that, I'm like, uh-oh, I gotta switch it up. No, I don't. Nope. Stick to the plan. Stick to the plan. This is gonna work. As long as we keep it close, stick to the plan. Really quickly, I got a super chat from Reggie the Tree. Reggie says, question, what up, Chill? If the Wolves had Marcus Johnson from the 80s instead of Cat, how would this series look right now and why? I don't think it would. I don't think it would look different in the way you would want it to look. I mean, I don't think that Marcus Johnson was the offensive player that Cat was. He couldn't stick the long ball like that. He was damn good getting to the rim, but so is Cat. Cat is more of an outside in big, where his offense starts at the free throw line. It goes out to the long ball line and then comes into the paint. His offense does not start inside out. It starts from the outside, then moves further outside, and then moves to the inside. That's him, right? So with that being said, I don't know if Marcus Johnson would have been that much more impactful than Cat. And hey, Hayes G, I got a quick question for you. When you say we're done with the 80s, who is we? That's my question to you. Because you obviously ain't done with me because you here. And I was born in the 70s. So who is we when you say we done with the 80s? You're here. So if we are done with the 80s, you obviously ain't done because you here with me. If you was done, you wouldn't be here. So you're clearly not done. Anyway, meanwhile, the Celtics are sitting at home, chilling, hanging out. Waiting for the finals to start. Yesterday was exactly 1 month to the day that KP has been out of the lineup. Exactly 1 month that KP has been out of the lineup to the day yesterday, which means that next Thursday, a week from today, he'll be out of the lineup 5 weeks. Now, they've already proven that they could win the Indiana series, the Eastern Conference Championship. They proved that they could beat Cleveland. They even proved they could beat Miami without him. Can they win the NBA championship without him? I'm not sure. That part I don't know. I don't know if they can do it. Not without him. But I also don't want to throw him back in the lineup. I think we can ease him back in the lineup where if we play him 5 minutes, 4 minutes, check his temperature. I don't even know what kind. I don't know what kind of action he's been in. Has he been running at all? Has he been in any contact? Has he been in any contact previous to this? So I'm trying to make sense exactly on what it is. No problem, Reg. I'm trying to make sense exactly on what it is that I'm trying to make sense on what it is that he's been doing, because we can't just roll him out there and he hasn't been doing anything. We can't do that. No, I'm not trying to hear that. Nope, I'm not trying to hear that at all. What is the plan moving forward with him? Because they do need him. 100% they need him. If he's not available, it's going to be hard to beat these dudes. It's going to be hard to beat these dudes if he's not available. So I say that to say, how do the Celtics deal with these two teams? How do the Celtics deal with these two teams? And before I go any further, man, I have the I think the series. I thought the series was over after game 3. I still think the series is over. I do. I think that Dallas ends this tonight. If they don't end it tonight, we have now moved into because as of right now we have a situation. That's what we have, and I'm sure that these guys have already heard me say that we have an issue right now. That's all we have. This is an issue. If they lose tonight, this issue has now turned into a situation. And I don't think that happens. I think they end it tonight. I do. I think the series is over tonight. I don't see how. I'm not saying I don't see how, because stranger things have happened. Because there's also there's this voice in my head saying to me, and I hope I don't sound ridiculous with this, guys, but there's this voice in my head saying to me, and there are people who have heard me say this, and I'm trying to quiet that voice down, but there's this voice in my head saying to me, I think Minnesota might have spotted them dudes 3 games. That's all they did. They just spotted them 3 games. I'm not really listening to that at all. I'm not trying to hear that. I am not listening to that at all. No, I'm not. I'm not trying to hear they spotted them 3 games and the Dallas Mavericks are basically going to go to pieces. I'm not trying to hear that. No. And the reason why I'm not trying to hear that is because if something like that were to happen, which we are so far away from that, right? We are like 20 exits away from that. We're not close to that. We are ridiculously far away from that. But if something like that were to happen, where Minnesota was to force a game 6 and then turn around and force a game 7 and then ultimately win the series, you can't tell me nothing. Actually, I'm not going to say you can't tell me nothing. You now have these guys, Luka, Kyrie Irving, they're in the same conversation with Magic, with James, with Bird. When it comes to Jerry West, when it comes to epic collapses, they're in the same conversation with them. In the same conversation with these dudes when it comes to an epic collapse. But again, we're on exit 20, and that's like exit 65. We ain't close to that. I'm sticking with what's going on right now. And as of right now, I think this series is over. I think it's just a formality. I think Dallas ends it tonight. I do. I think that they end it tonight. I think this series is over. I can't see how Dallas could possibly let them back in the series. Everything that they've thrown at you guys, not every other thing, or everything that they've thrown at you guys, you've had to counter for it. And they can't counter what you did, what you've done, right? They can't counter what you've done. So because of that, if you stick to the game plan of what's been working for you, there's no reason to think that you could lose. None. None. And I'm a firm believer in the notion that if I did something once, odds are I can do it again. I studied history in college. And one thing I learned in history is if I did it once, odds are I can do it again. I can do it again. And the fact that Dallas has done this more than once, more than twice, I can do it again. I can do it again. And all the heat is on the Minnesota Timberwolves. Not some of the heat, not most of the heat, but all of the heat is on the Minnesota Timberwolves. You have 3 games to win 1. Dallas has 3 games to win 1. Minnesota, you lose, you out. It's that elementary. You lose tonight, you're out. You lose Saturday, you're out. All the heat's on you. All of it. Not some of it or most of it. All of it's on you. Now, Dallas can't play like that. They can't play like, well, we got tomorrow. We have the next day. No. Because the longer you let these dudes hang around, the less confident your crew is going to be. And the more confident they're going to be. So we can't have that. Absolutely not. Can we have that? No. We can't have that. So, with that being said, stick to the plan. Absolutely stick to the plan. I think this series is over tonight. I don't think that. I think we'll have a Western Conference champion tonight. I do. If we don't, we now have ourselves a situation, ladies and gentlemen. We have an issue right now. That's it. We have an issue right now. If they lose tonight, we have ourselves a situation. And this situation has to be tended to pretty quickly. Meanwhile, the Celtics, I'm not a fan of this rest like that. I'm just not a fan of it. The whole layoff like this, it really throws off rhythm. That, for the record, that whole when they played against Denver, right? So when they played against Denver, that series would have been over had they played when they beat Denver on that Monday in Game 2. If they played Denver Wednesday in their building in Game 3, they smoked them. And now this series is over because Friday in their building, they end them. Completely end them. And because of that, 3 or 4 days off, that Denver was able to regroup, heal up, reconfigure their game plan, and get back ready. When you give teams time to do that, as opposed to getting right back to it, we throw off a lot of things. And in this particular situation, I feel like that's what went on. And now where we are, Right now, where we are with this Boston team, they're gonna have. Let's see, they played today is Thursday. Was that game Monday? Yeah, I think that game was Monday. Or was it Wednesday? Maybe Tuesday. I think it was either Monday or Tuesday, one of those two. And they have until Thursday. So would it be in 8 days off? Right? Would it be in 8 days off? You could lose a lot with that. So real, you have no life. But if you want to talk about it, let's talk about it. What's the benefit? What's the benefit in continuously addressing what you want to talk about? I'm gonna get back, guys. I'm gonna get back to this. But Real, who is a troll, you know how I feel about the trolls and the goofies. Let's talk to him for a second. Let me ask you this question. Balco was shut down in 2005. They did an investigation on LeBron James 10 years ago. 10 years ago. In 2013, 2014. And the FBI, by the way, I want to make sure that we clear, Real. The FBI did an investigation on him 10 years ago. Now, this is the same FBI that shut down Balco. Shut it down. If LeBron James, who is the face of the NBA, was involved in something like this, do you think that the FBI would do everything? And by the way, this is the Federal Bureau of Investigations. They have over an 80%, close to a 90% conviction rate. If they had something on him, do you think that they would have kept quiet about it? They did everything that they possibly could. They flipped over every rock. They opened every door, every last one of them. They found nothing. Nothing. And now you have a former UFC, basically not damned, but a former UFC fighter who lied in court. And you want me to believe that he says we both have the same guy with no evidence to prove it. None whatsoever. And there's no reason for me to even address him when I was investigated by the FBI. And they couldn't find anything on me. So if they couldn't find anything on me, why am I even attempting to entertain a conversation with this guy who has known to lie? Why? There is no reason to do that. So why hasn't he addressed them? Why hasn't he addressed the quote-unquote PEDs? Because there's nothing to address. That's why. Now, I would appreciate it if you would stop with this. I really would. Now, the Boston Celtics, what can they do to win the NBA championship? I think their offense is their best defense, particularly against Dallas. Now, I'll hear some people saying stuff like, hasn't other teams tried to hunt Luka? Not like Boston has. Not like Boston has. Not like Boston has. And what I mean when I say hunt Luka, I mean not just giving the ball to Jaylen Brown and letting him go one-on-one on a wing. No, I ain't saying that. I'm not saying that at all. When you make a guy guard, right? When you make a guy guard, when you make a guy guard for stretches, that's also going after him. 100% it is. That 100% is what it is. I thought Coach Mazzulla did a great job in that. One, when they went to Dallas, I thought he did a great job in that. And then when they were in Boston, when they smoked them by like 30 in Boston, I think they beat them by 25, something like that. Straight smoked them. Now, there's some people who disregard the regular season. I understand that, sure. And rightfully so. There's precedent to disregard the regular season. If I'm not mistaken, Phoenix beat Minnesota. Minnesota beat Phoenix these many times in the regular season. Right here. It's how many times they beat them in the regular season. There's how many times Phoenix beat them in the playoffs. So I can appreciate how you feel about the regular season. I actually value the regular season off the strength that there's mismatches. I mean, there's matchups. There's creating mismatches. When you get to the playoffs, your team is not the same as what it was when we saw you 2 months ago. Those things are not the same. Not the same at all. So, with that being said, I feel like Boston against Dallas, their best defense is their offense. Go after Luka. Do not let him off the hook. Continuously make him guard. Hunt those mismatches. Hunt those switches with Luka involved in them. Just like you hunt the switches when Minnesota decides to switch everything on the perimeter. Jason Kidd is on the sideline rubbing his hands because he knows he's ultimately going to get Kyrie Irving switched on to Rudy Gobert, which is nuts to me. I'm losing my mind when I see that. I can't be more serious than what I am when I see Kyrie Irving, when I see Rudy Gobert switched on to Kyrie Irving. I'm for real about to lose my mind because I'm thinking, are you guys serious right now? Are you guys for real serious right now when you're doing that? There's no way you're serious to think that a 5 should be switched on to a 1. I don't even mean Rudy. I don't even mean Rudy Gobert. 1s and 5s do not switch. They don't. 1s and 5s do not switch. They don't. And the reason why they don't is because I don't want a 5-man 25 feet away from the basket covering a 1. I don't care how good Bam is. I don't care how good Miles Turner is. I do not want Brook Lopez 23 feet away from the basket standing in front of Tyrese Halliburton. I don't want that. Not only do I not want Brook Lopez, I don't want Hakeem Olajuwon standing in front of Kevin Johnson 25 feet away from the basket. I don't want that. That's a recipe for disaster. We're not switching that. No. That's the action that I want to put Luka in, though. That's the action that I want to put him in. That's the action that I want to put Luka in action where he's constantly, once he switches, get back to it. Once he switches, get back to it. Hell yes, that logic applies to Anthony Davis. I don't want Anthony Davis 25 feet away from the basket on Anthony Edwards. I don't. Nope. Hell no, I don't. I do not want Anthony Davis 24 feet away from. I do not want him 24 feet, 26 feet away from the basket, matched up on Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. I don't want that. No, I don't. I don't. And because of that, I don't like. Because of that, I don't see how that could happen. I just don't. So, I got a super chat real quick. I gotta read, and that super chat is from old dudes capping for old dudes. Old dudes capping for young dudes. Old dudes capping for young dudes. How about that? I'm an old dude capping for young dudes. I don't know about that. Old dudes capping for young dudes. That's what it is. Real, you don't have any, to be honest with you, and since you want to hijack my live, because obviously I can't actually come in here and talk to people about basketball. Real, since you want to hijack my live and you want to talk about Kobe Bryant, Real, tell everybody in here where you have Kobe Bryant ranked all time. I'm going to stop talking and I'm going to let you address the people because you clearly don't want them to listen to me. So Real, tell everybody in here where you have Kobe Bryant ranked all time. Go ahead. I'm going to keep quiet. No. Nope. We're not doing that. Tell everybody in here where you have him ranked all time. There you have it. Now, can you give people in here? Can you give the people in here legit logic on in the 77-year history of the NBA that Kobe Bryant is the best player that the NBA has ever seen? I am all ears. I'm not going to say another word. I'll sit here and I will listen to your logic because you have completely hijacked my life. So go ahead, my man. Tell everybody here why Kobe Bryant is the best player that the NBA has ever seen. Go. I'm sorry, guys. Again, this is real. Real. This is real. And we're trying to get some logic out of real, right? We're trying to get some logic out of him. So again, he has hijacked my live because we got the NBA Finals coming up. We have the Western Conference Championship going on tonight, but he wants to talk about why Kobe Bryant, I think, is the 11th best player in NBA history, and he thinks he's the best player in NBA history. So once again, sir, tell everybody here why you think he is the best player in NBA history. And the reason why I'm not ignoring him, is because I want to make an example out of these people. I do. I want to make an example out of them that when they come up here, they are going to be pulled on the stage in front of everybody. You want me to explain why he's number 11? Sure. Okay. So in my logic, I have five different criteria. Number one, is your game timeless? That means that if we drop you anywhere in history, can you perform? That's number one. Number two, did you dominate? Well, what do you mean when you say dominate? Karl Malone averaged 28 and 11 for over 11 years. Well, you can't keep kicking ass and you're not winning. So number three, did you win? Number four, how transcendent is your game? So when people see your game, how do they feel about your game and how do they think they can implement their game into your game? How can they do that? How can they implement your game into their game? And then number five, how impactful were you socially? Like, how did you reach the people with your game? How big of a deal were you when it came to your game? So with that being said, the NBA, throughout the course of, since I've been watching it and throughout history, the best players to ever play the game have been big men. So with my criteria and with my logic, I came up with 10 guys, which is James, Jordan, Jabbar, Chamberlain, Russell, Magic, Bird, Duncan, Olajuwon, Diesel. Those are the 10 best players I think the NBA has ever seen. Right there. So you wanted me to explain my logic. I am asking you, sir, explain why you think Kobe Bryant is not a top 10 player. Why is he the best player that the NBA has ever seen? Ever. Go ahead, my man. Go ahead, my man. We waiting on you. Go ahead, my man. We waiting on you. Go ahead, my man. Now remember, and I'm also on record saying this. If you have him anywhere between 7 and 11, I take no issue with that whatsoever. You can't. You like what you like, and I have no problem with that. If you got him anywhere between 7 and 11, bet. I need to hear legit logic on why you think he's the best player in NBA history. If you can't do that for me right now, my man, you ain't allowed in here no more. You are not allowed around me anymore. You're not. LeBron fan, you got him at 7. I don't have a problem with that. I don't have a problem with that at all. I don't have a problem with that at all whatsoever. I don't have a problem with you having them at 7. So again, can you do that, sir? I'm going to take that as a no. So From now on, when I see you, if you ever show up, you're not allowed in here anymore. You aren't. You are not. Sorry. Now, where were we? We're talking about we're talking about a Boston Celtic team, right? We're talking about no. Goodbye. You out of here. I told you already. I think your logic is flawed. That's not what we're talking about here. Tell us why you think he's the best player ever. You can't tell us that. We've been waiting for 10 minutes for you already. You're right. You're exactly right. You are exactly right. I apologize. Anyway, so the Boston Celtics have now made it back to the NBA Finals. I think they're the second team, right? I think they're the second team, if I'm not mistaken. I think they're the second team this decade to be in the finals twice. The other team is the Miami Heat. Miami was in 20, and then they went back in 22. 23, I'm sorry. Excuse me, in 23. I'm sorry. You can't keep getting there, yo. You can't. You got to win it. You have to win. Getting there isn't enough. It's just not. Getting there is not enough. You have to win it. Otherwise, we the Buffalo Bills of pro basketball. That's who we are. We're the Buffalo Bills of pro basketball. We're just going to keep getting to the finals every like 3 or 4 years, and we're never going to win? No. We got to win it. And now we're in a space where, okay, we've seen this movie already. With you dudes. We've seen you dudes, and it's not like it's not like Olajuwon who got there in 86 and wasn't able to get back for almost 10 years. Yo, you dudes was just removed from the finals 2 years ago. 2 years ago, you were just removed from the finals. Literally 2 years ago. You were just removed from the finals. And now to see you back, I'm on record saying that the Jason Tatum that I currently know, the Jason Tatum that I currently have seen is a different Jason Tatum than what I seen 2 years ago. And I don't think I'm going to see the same dude in the NBA Finals. And if I do, I got to start talking about you different. I have to. I got a super chat from Lee Mack. He says, people put Kobe at 1 without reason because he passed away, and I have him at 8. And if you got him at 8, I don't have a problem with that. I don't. I do not have a problem with that. I think that guys like Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Derek White, I mean, I feel like the way that this unit is put together, I feel like they got all the ingredients. I do. I feel like they have everything necessary. I feel like they have everything necessary in order to win. I feel like there are no excuses for me. I have no answers for you in why they can't win it. We have everything. Well, KP is hurt. No, I'm not trying to hear that. Nope. He had a whole month and a half. He had almost a month and a half off before the finals started. I'm not trying to hear that, y'all. I'm not. And don't get me wrong. You guys know how I am when it comes. There's 2 injuries that I don't play around with. 2 of them. There's 2 injuries that I do not play around with. That's the heart, and that's the Achilles. So when I hear stuff like calf strains and heart murmurs and irregular heartbeat, that get my blood pressure up. I don't like that. I don't play with stuff like that. When I found out about Bronny James passing out from cardiac arrest, I wanted him to quit basketball. I ain't want him playing no more. If we being honest, I wanted him to quit playing. I didn't want him playing anymore. So when I saw that KP has a strained calf, I didn't like that at all. I was like, ugh. This is something that if this was the regular season, he might be out for like 2 months because this isn't something to play with. And like, see, like this dude right here, what it do? You ready to admit Tatum not the guy if he doesn't get it done once again? Sounds like you already got your mind made up that he's not going to get it done. Sounds like you're not on the fence about it. It sounds like you already got your mind made up that he's not going to get it done, and you already have him as not the guy. So ain't no reason to talk to you, right? There's no reason to talk to you, none whatsoever, none. So I won't even entertain what he's gotten better at. I won't entertain since he's came into the league how much better of a jump shooter he is, how much better of a finisher he is since he came into the league, how much better of a scorer he is, how much better of a defender that he is. Even in 2 years, since so in 22, what he was what he did in 22 in the NBA Finals, the next year, how much better of a scorer he was, how much better of a distributor, how much better of a rebounder. He was not the same player that next year that he was the year before. That didn't happen. But there's no reason for me to explain this to you, and the reason why is because you already got your mind made up about him, brother. So there's no reason to talk to you about it. There's no reason for me to talk to you about Jason Tatum. It's just now about him getting it done. That's it. That's it. That's it in a nutshell. That is it. So you can't keep getting back. You absolutely have to win it. You have to. Because getting to the NBA Finals, let's be clear about one thing. It's very much like anything. Ain't no guarantee that we coming back. There's no guarantee that we coming back here. No guarantee that we coming back here. So we got to take advantage of us getting there now. I remember when Dan Marino was in the Super Bowl. I'll never forget this for as long as I live. But real quick, let me read this super chat, which is from Matt. Matt says, you hear how Ant needed an oxygen mask in game 2? I did not hear that. I did not hear that. Maybe. You know, this is the first time you're there. I mean, I'm watching Paolo in game 7 call timeout in the first like 4 minutes because, I got to get it together. And Ant also was trying to get it together. That's the only thing that I can think of. That's the only thing that I can think of. So what I was saying was in 1984, Dan Marino was in the Super Bowl. That was his second year in the league, right? That was his second year in the league. There was no reason for us to believe that he wasn't going to be back multiple times. There was no reason to believe that. He had thrown for 5,000 yards that year. He was up for league MVP. He was awesome. He was absolutely awesome, right? Just so you know, he never made it back to the bowl game again. Never. And he played 16 years. These how many times he went back to the bowl game. So when you get there, right? When you get there, you got to win it, man. Because ain't no guarantee that we coming back here. None. And no, I'm not ready to call Jaylen Brown the best player. Just like I wasn't ready to call James Worthy the best player when he led the Lakers in scoring in 87. Just like I wasn't ready to call James Worthy the best player when he won the Finals MVP in 88. No. Listen, whatever it is, what it do, just tell everybody here you just don't think Jason Tatum is him. That's it. Just tell everybody here you don't think Jason Tatum is it, and we'll end it there. We'll end it there. Because no matter what I say, because I could give you legit stats. Not only can I give you legit stats, I can give you improvement. I can show you what he's done in the postseason, how much better he's gotten. None of that matters to you because you already got your mind made up about him. Already. And that's cool that you already got your mind made up about him. And that's fine. I take no issue with that. That you already got your mind made up about him. What I know is I've been watching this kid since he came out of college in 17. I watched him in the summer league, and I was like, that dude got 20 a game written all over him. And I started watching him, and I became a fan of his right from the beginning. And I dig everything about his game. Yes, he can be more aggressive. I'd like to see him be more aggressive. And I'd like to see him take advantage of mismatches more. I'd like to see him do that. But what I don't see is I don't see the same dude that I saw 2 years ago. And I can't see that dude come next Thursday. Just like I didn't see the same dude in 2017 standing in front of LeBron James that I saw in 2012. That wasn't the same dude. And he made that clear to James. That dude you saw in the NBA Finals in 2012, he ain't here no more. Nope. It's a different dude. It's a different dude you see standing in front of you. This is not the same dude from 2017. This is not the same dude from 2012. And he was 5 years removed from the finals. 5 years. Same logic goes with Pau Gasol in 2010. When he made it clear that when he made it clear that I don't know what's going to happen in this series. I don't know who's going to win it. I don't know who's going to lose it. Kevin Garnett, you ain't kicking my ass again, though. I know that. You are not kicking my ass again. Nope. Not happening. Mm-mm. And I didn't see the same dude that I saw previous to that. I ain't see the same dude in 2008 who looked overwhelmed. I did not see that. And because I didn't see that, I respected Pau Gasol even more. Way more. So I can't see the same dude in these finals that I saw 2 years ago. I can't. Mm-mm. And I'm really looking forward to the NBA Finals. I am. Mm-mm. I'm looking forward to the NBA Finals. I'm looking forward to the matchup. Whomever they see, whether they see Minnesota or they see Dallas, I think it's going to be Dallas. I think Dallas ends this thing tonight. I think this thing is over tonight. I just think it's a formality. I know that I've already said to you guys that there's this voice in my head telling me that Minnesota spotted these dudes 3 games. I am not listening to that. I'm not. I am not. And because of that, I think the series is over. I do. I think this series is over. I know about that, DV. Thanks, though. Thanks for the update. Lively's ready to rock and roll tonight. That's good. Feeling that. I think that he gives them a dynamic that they didn't have, and he's going to be better. 100% he's going to be better. And again, look at this Boston Celtic team. There hasn't been, if you guys who've known me since the beginning of the season, if you knew here, you can ask these guys. I had the Boston Celtics winning the NBA championship in December. I had them winning the NBA championship in February. I had them winning the NBA championship in April. And in May of 2024, I still got them winning the NBA championship. I still have them winning the NBA championship today. And I stand on that. And if they don't, it'll be something that I'm going to have to wear. Yep. I got to wear it. But this is where I'm at with that crew in particular. And I want to see the matchup that I'm really looking forward to, because I just love everything about him. And that's Drew Holiday. I think he's gonna take on the matchup of Kyrie Irving. And I think he's gonna do everything that he can to deal with Kyrie Irving. I mean, it's very difficult to stop that dude. Good luck stopping him. It was proven in Game 4 that you could slow him down. You can slow him down. Stop him, on the other hand, I think that's putting a lot on it. And I think that Drew is up for the challenge to make it difficult on him. And I'm here for it, man. I am. I'm definitely here for it, because I feel like this Celtic team, they upgraded. They got a better version of Marcus Smart. They got Robert Williams minus some of the defense, but more of the offense. They got Grant Williams and Derek White. So I like the Celtic team. I like everything about them. I do. But it's about that time for me, guys. It was good to see you tonight. I am going to playback. I'm going to be on playback. I'm doing the Minnesota-Dallas game tonight on playback. If you ain't got nothing going on, come through and catch a ball game. Come through and catch a ball game because I'll be there. I will see you guys soon. But until then, put on a suit, drink water, don't drink and drive. Hey, man, call your mother. Call your mother. When the last time you talked to your mother? I can't tell you guys to call your mother, and I don't talk to my mother. I talked to my mother a couple of days ago. I literally just talked to my mother a couple of days ago. So call your mother. I will see you guys soon. Until then, take it light. Take it. Absolutely, guys. It was good to see you tonight. I appreciate it. No doubt about it. No doubt.